Hi there, I'm Nikita and welcome back to my channel. Before I begin this video, I would like to thank all of you for sharing your love, your wishes and beautiful blessings with us. My baby girl and I are doing well and she's right now sleeping right next to me, and before she wakes up I decided to make this video and utilize this time to share something with you that I think is very essential and something that is very close to my heart. This video is again going to be one shot no cut video because I believe this is how the raw emotions can be shared and there is nothing to filter. I will be talking about the postpartum depression, or the postpartum emotional phase, if you put it in that way. Now, I personally am a very happy-go-lucky person. I'm rarely negative. I usually tend to see the positive side of things and be positive and see just like the happiness in things that are happening around me and how I can be positive and stay positive. So when I delivered my baby, 2 days later, actually 24 hours later, when my mother-in-law visited me, she told me something that I did not take seriously. She came to me and she told me, Nikki, it might happen that you go through an emotional phase, which roughly begins 2 to 3 days after the delivery. You might want to cry, or you might also actually cry, but you will not know why you're crying. So just take it easy. These things happen. Take your time and let this phase go, and then everything will be normal. Now, because I have never experienced depression, sadness, yeah, per se, sometimes I've had hard times during my exams or during some family issues, but I never was really depressed. I thought, okay, I can just listen to it. It was very lovely of you of sharing this information with me, but I can just actually throw this info because this will never hit me, and this is a planned baby and everything went well. Why should I have postpartum depression? I know, silly of me, but yeah, that was the time that I thought this. But exactly a day later, I still remember it was early in the morning, around 7 and 8, when I was feeding her, I started to cry. And I remember very clearly that I did not have any physical pain after the delivery. I was given some painkillers, so I was really not experiencing any physical pain, and I was also not sad. I was pretty happy to have a baby next to me, which is healthy, and everything went well. I cried, and 10-20 minutes later, once the feeding cycle was over, it went away. Then I thought, okay, probably it's just something I don't have to think about. In the evening it happened again. I cried. I did not know what's happening. The second day it repeated again, the third day, and I was like, something is wrong, but I'm not very sure. I mean, I knew this could be the emotional phase my mother-in-law informed me about, but I did not want to accept it. So the fourth day, when I was home, I thought, okay, now everything's pretty good. I was so happy. I had my mother there, my husband, and my very close friends came to me. So I was like, everything's going to be fine. But unfortunately, it did not. In the evening, she had her phase where around 5 p.m. until 8:30 to 9 p.m. she would cry constantly, like not in one go, but she would cry, she would calm down, she would cry again, and she would cry like really strong. And I still remember the first evening at home when she cried, I somehow was not liking it. I was in such a mood that I wanted her away from me. I asked my husband the very second she started to cry that please take her to another room, close that door, close this room's door, and keep me away from her until she's quiet. I still can remember I felt so bad. I felt that I'm like a bad mother. I do not want to take care of my kid, and it is not good. I desired for this kid. I have her now, and I should be ashamed of myself that I cannot do anything, and instead of calming her down, soothing her down by taking care of her, I'm asking her to be taken away from me. But I somehow could not do anything that time because that's how it was actually going. My body, my mind, and myself, I did not want her next to me. The time got over, 9 p.m. around, she slept. The very next day, it repeated again and repeated again and repeated again. And it repeated for like first full week I was home, and we have a Hebamme, a midwife that came to us that time. And I remember talking to her that I'm going through this, and she was like, it's absolutely normal. And when she told me that it happens to other women as well, that they do not like to hear their baby crying, they do not want to soothe their baby down because it somehow triggers certain emotions in them, and it's fine. I was relaxing that time, but the moment she was gone and this whole cycle of crying repeated again, I was again in the same ways that I was not wanting to have her, and I at the same time did not want her to go away from me, because I was having a fight with myself that, am I a bad mother? It actually went until 2nd month postpartum, so until she was 2 months old. This whole thing repeated every day. The same thing was happening, and it was not that I did not realize I'm going through a postpartum depression. It was something that I knew I'm going through a postpartum depression, and exactly this knowing that I'm going through this phase was shocking me, because I, being such a positive person, such a happy person, and a motivated person, if I could go through it, I don't know what others would go through. So this phase took 2 months. When it got over, and it did not go over in one go. It was like every 2 weeks it was going a little bit down. But I remember that when she turned 2, I still had that evening. I thought that, okay, now she's 2, it's like really a big time period that I will have emotional phase, I should be over with it. But the same evening she cried, and everything was coming back to the memories, and I again asked my husband, can you please take her to a walk out? And I can very well remember that evening I sat down, I wrote in my diary that it's 2nd month and I'm still in that phase, and I do not know how many other women go through, but I'm really going through it, and there is nothing that can help me, no medicine, no physical activity, no matter how happy I am, no matter how much my husband is supporting me, no matter how good my friends are right now, they're talking to me and helping me out and trying to calm me down, nothing can help me. Luckily, once she was 2 months old and the things like my mind and my body tried to recover, and I was going to this Rückbildung course, and I was keeping her with my husband in the evening so that I can get some time for myself, I could come out of this phase. And today I don't really remember that in the past 2-3 weeks there is something, or there has been a moment where I want her away from me. No matter how strong she cries, no matter what's happening, I always rush to her and I take care of her immediately. Like, I trust my husband that he is the person after me who can take care of her very well. He's like kind of a second mother to her, but I still think that I now have recovered. And I hope I have recovered, because I read about this postpartum depression a lot. I talked to my gynecologist after it. I talked to the midwife about it, and also a lot of my other friends. And they told me that sometimes it goes and it comes again, and it goes, and you do not know. Sometimes it comes after like 3 months or 4 months, and then you're like, maybe it's not this, maybe it's something else. So it is something that everyone should take seriously. This is something that I would like to share, that all the women who have babies do not get postpartum depression. That is why the ones who get it, they do not understand what it is, or once they understand it, they sometimes maybe do not want to accept it, or they feel like they are bad mothers. There's nothing called a bad mother unless you are suffering from a disease, or unless you're suffering from severe postpartum depression that makes you feel to harm yourself or harm your baby. If that's the stage that you've entered into, then you definitely should seek a therapist. Definitely you should talk to somebody who's professional in this area and can help you nicely. But if it's happening to you like it happened to me, in a way that it was not this strong, but it influenced you and affected you, then there's nothing wrong with you. You are a beautiful mother, you're a lovely mother. You just need time so that your body can recover from this process of giving birth. It's not easy. Your body changes, your organs displace to arrange the baby inside you. Everything is changing in your body. So if something like this has happened to you or is happening to you, then just be calm. It's okay to give your baby to someone who you trust. Take your own time, relax, have your time to yourself, and try to enjoy your postpartum. And second thing, that if I can get out of it and if I can have it, like if a person who's always motivated and positive can have it, you can have it too. But it's all okay. It's nothing wrong, it's nothing bad. It's just something that your body has to go through, and it will find its own way to get out of it. I hope I could help somebody with this message, because I always believe that sharing what happened to you and sharing it with with truth in it and without any filters and without any inhibition is actually good, because that's how we can share our story with somebody and help somebody who probably might have not experienced it, and that's why can be helped with it. So I hope I could help you, and I wish you a beautiful day, evening or night, and whenever and whatever time you're watching this video. And remember, if you're a mother, or you have been a mother, or you will be a mother, there is nothing called a bad mother. There is just being mother, and this feeling is very beautiful. So enjoy it, and don't ever think that you did something wrong to your child, because a mother can probably not do anything wrong to her child. Much love.